For years, Kenya has enjoyed the title of most advanced, most developed and best positioned country in East Africa, which has allowed the country reap great success. But lately, Kenya has been losing its grip on the market as countries like Ethiopia and Tanzania join the bandwagon and offer extra sweeteners to investors. And with these countries now giving Kenya a run for its money, experts say time has come to review how policy decisions are being made and also ensure that the future success of the country is guaranteed. I sat down with Kwame Owino, the CEO of the Institute of Economic Affairs, to establish what these measures involve. Foreign investors are diverting their attention now to Ethiopia because they say the cost of labor in Kenya is quite very high. But how do we actually regain the favor that we had from foreign investors?
We are still the largest exporter of flowers. We should be asking ourselves, how come somebody else thinks that they can do that through Ethiopia and not do it through us when we've had this advantage rolling? But it's true that we have very expensive labor in comparative terms. What that means is we have to ask ourselves, what does that labor produce in order to justify that expense? So the quality of our education definitely comes into play. And let's ask ourselves, if you measure our education against that of Ethiopia, is it better? If Ethiopia's is better, then we have to benchmark ourselves against a country that's much better than us, so that we can make those. Is our infrastructure better? Of course, Ethiopia has gone into a huge infrastructure drive and all that. Not all our infrastructure is better. We have a train service that's coming in that's going to be very, very expensive.
Ethiopia has almost built something similar for almost over 50% less than what we are spending on that.
Yeah, precisely. So all those things, and whether it's bad judgment on our side, or whether it's the way we negotiate, or whether it's some corruption or something else, it shows that all these things within a value chain do affect our ability to compete. Kenyan farms, the ability of Kenyan farms to compete internationally. And so that's something for us to do in-house. So there's no single bullet. I think it all tells you that we need to get all our policies right, from infrastructure. And even when you're constructing that infrastructure, it has to be at the right cost. It has to be the right quality to be able to give our investors a good competition. But in some cases, we also have to make the difficult choices of exit. Our sugar industry.
Right.
We are spending so much money, and that's affecting our productivity. Why? Because we are spending money in an industry that is already doing so poorly that we are actually pumping money to support inefficiency. That shows up in our productivity.
Right.
What we should be asking ourselves is, if we are to make a choice about exiting, what is the alternative that we could spend this money on, the 40 billion that the president pledged to actually spend, that would still give us better returns without necessarily continuing to pump money in an industry that's not going to get us anywhere. So those are the questions we need to ask. So some difficult choices would have to be made, including how to go from less productive to more productive sectors of the economy. We have to make those choices.